The 2014 AARO AMP Energy Racing Series 4th race would be the Dollar General 250 at Daytona. The AAA pole award goes to Shawn Donnelly in number 28 Budweiser Chevrolet, with Brian Hensler to his outside. Jalen Scranton 3rd, Ross Lowry 4th, Luke Kinsid 5th, Jeff Parshall 6th, Louis Tellez 7th. That is, I believe, Brad Simmons is in 8th place. Will Legge 9th and Mike Oppenheimer 10th. Well, he's not going to be in 10th for much longer. He's dropping back. Chad Lipinski takes 10th. Donnelly is going to look for a run on the outside from Brian Hensler, and he's going to get just that. Scranton's going to look to the bottom for 2nd, but Donnelly hangs on to the lead for now. As Donnelly's teammate and team owner, Louis Tellez, goes to the bottom of his teammate, his employee Donnelly, but Tellez himself is going to be stuck on the outside. Will Legge goes to the bottom with his teammate Chad Lipinski. Right underneath him, Herb Cilantro sneaking into the picture. As the Op Inc. teammates, Todd Bradshaw and Mike Oppenheimer, are going to go to the front of the field, staying nose to tail for now, with the rest of the field coming fast. I don't know exactly how much longer they're going to last at the front. Carson Crompton's going to go to the low side with Nate Smith with him. First caution of the day is Eric Webler escorts Herb Cilantro into the wall hard. Well, Webler took the hardest hit of all. And that would be all she wrote. As 4 wide definitely does not work. Well, Herb Cilantro might have came down a bit onto the 49, but I'm not sure. Ringer, Lester got a piece of that, the points leader. Lipinski, Harris, Webler, Legge, Donnelly, Ross Lowry. As Nick Dawson gets a good shot through this, he tries to make it through, gets a little piece of the 18. Cody Lochner was also collected. As the top 3 would come into the pits, Bradshaw, Gerald, and Carson Crompton. But Jerry Richson would stay out under this caution period. Alan Reeds, and I want to say that was Luke Kinson in the back. I could be wrong. There are a couple different white cars in the field. As Bradshaw comes into the pits, trying to go as fast as they can on the splash and go, and they go right on by. He would have beat Carson Crompton out of the pits if he didn't check up right there for a couple cars, Hayerski and someone else coming into their pit box. Crompton would be the first off of pit road, but the first on track would be Jerry Richson with Keith Davis, Hensler, Nick Dawson, as there's the 4 who stayed out, and Crompton rounding out the top 5. Richson having a solid run so far. Nicholas Hayerski would eventually get up to the lead of the race. Justin Pisani 2nd. Mike Oppenheimer in 3rd. Not anymore. Oppenheimer goes up to 2nd, as he would eventually make a charge for the lead, but he would drop back. The next person who would be able to challenge and successfully remove Hayerski from the lead would be Brian Hensler, the number 10. Sean Glossum, known for his super speedway prowess, goes to the bottom of Hensler to take the lead on the inside in the number 09 Miller and Light Ford, with Nate Smith and Nick Dawson right behind him. Smith would eventually go to the bottom as Dawson decided to go up high, and he's going to drop back. Hayerski's on the way outside, almost up against the wall, but Smith would keep the lead at turn 2, but it wouldn't last for long as the Op Inc. teammates reunited. Mike Oppenheimer and Todd Bradshaw are going to go to the bottom, but Bradshaw has an idea of his own, and he's going to take the lead for himself, bringing Jerry Richson with him, as Op Inc. running 1st and 4th, I want to say now in this shot. But before Bradshaw could really get a chance to be out front, well, he would be able to lead this lap, but Jerry Richson's going to go to the bottom. Barry Juveno is in 2nd. Well, he's going to go to the bottom now. Juveno's going to go to the lead, with Mac DiCario pushing the 52, the Keith Davis Motorsports, Jack Daniels Dodge. Jonathan Ringer, involved in that first caution, is going to hold up some of the field. The outside line in particular, Scranton, Jates, Mertz, Reeds, Simmons, among others, are going to get by. However, Louis Tellez and company behind him, not so lucky, as they would eventually catch back up to the main pack. Keith Davis would be in the lead. Jalen Scranton second. Hayerski back up front. The other hopping car, Ricardo Blanco fourth. Shawn Donnelly also creeping back up into the picture after being involved in the first wreck. Speaking of wrecking, the second wreck, lap 22. Car number 22 missed the first one. Couldn't quite miss the second one, as Todd Bradshaw got into him and hooked and turned him into the wall. As Luis Tellez just runs into the back of the 4, spins himself around. Oh, and there was some more wrecking behind them, as we'll get to in a minute. Lowry, Cohone, Richson, Juveno away with his smoking car. Okay, Tellez getting a bit close there. Oh! And Cohone and Diefer just did not use the brakes there. What is going on? And Carter got hit. Lowry got hit even harder. But Carter just slid back down the track and got hit. Oh, and he gets hit again by David Lee Bibson, who decides he doesn't need brakes. Pedal on the left, boys. Pedal on the left. Ross Lowry, once again, no brakes from Cohone and Richson. That was the incident from earlier. Hope Lowry's okay. That was actually a pretty hard hit. Here's Jimmy Cohone. Oh, just riding in the back. Taking my leisurely time. Oh, smoke ahead. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Hi, Ross Lowry. How's it going today? Good. I'll meet you back in the garage area out of our cars. Yeah. Use your brakes next time there, Jamie. Hayerski is going to lead to the restart with Mertz, Scranton, and that's Alan Reed's in 4th place, turning his season around. Has an abysmal string of an abysmal first 3 races for Reeds has really set him back. Hayerski is going to lead this lap, but definitely not the next one, as Mike Oppenheimer goes to the bottom to take the lead. Ricardo Blanco, his teammate, is back there in about 6th or 7th, as Shawn Donnelly is going to go to the bottom of Luke Kinzen, a lap car, who's going to hold up the outside line. He's not as slow as Ringer, though. Almost, but not quite as slow. Donnelly to the lead. Mac DiCario would try and switch to the bottom, but Alex Yates was right there. Sean Glossum is going to be right in the path of the spinning DiCario, and both of them are going to go into the wall. I think both of them went out of the race. DiCario just merges right down into Glossum, who had nowhere to go from that point on. All he could do was hit the brakes and hope he missed it, but that just wasn't quite enough. As Donnelly leads to the restart with Blanco right behind him, Hayerski, and that's Nate Smith in 4th. Now he's going to go to 3rd as he took a peek underneath the 81, but Luke Kinzen was on the bottom there, so that kind of made passing on the inside a bit difficult, and I can see why he didn't want to take it 3 wide right off the restart. As Donnelly continues to lead, Blanco right behind him in tow. When Blanco finally decided to make a move into the 28, we've seen this a lot where drivers decide to go 3 wide. Well, Hayerski didn't quite pull it off, but drivers typically make it 3 wide on the entrance to one of these corners, and they eventually get to the lead. Hayerski didn't make it work the last lap. The next lap, he's going to make it work with only 2 cars, as he goes right by Blanco. There is Smith on the inside with, I think that's Justin Pisani. Yes, it is. JN Motorsports Dodge. Going up to 3rd, eventually get up to 3rd, as Jalen Scranton goes underneath Hayerski to take the lead. Josh Mertz having a nice run in the 8 with the 83 of Nate Smith right behind him, as Blanco is getting Super Speedway shuffled on the outside. Same thing goes for Hayerski, as Scranton would lead to the white flag, as lap traffic is up ahead. There were threats for rain in the area, I believe, so they decided to shorten the distance just a bit to avoid this race ending under yellow flag. Good call by the AARO officials, in my opinion, as Trout and Averill, Emma Trout and Tim Averill side by side, right ahead of the leaders. Mertz and Scranton both being held up equally. Who's it going to be? It just depends on which lap car is ahead of the other by the time we get to the tri-oval. As Averill gets a run ahead of Trout, this is going to give Scranton a bit more momentum out of the corner. Jalen Scranton's got about half a car length over Mertz. Mertz is not going to be able to get enough on the outside. Jalen Scranton is going to win the General 250 here at Daytona by 0.04 of a second over Josh Mertz. Easily his best career finish. His tenure from, I want to say it was 2009, 2010. Didn't exactly get very good results, but second place here at Daytona, a very nice run for the 8 crew. Nicholas Hierski in third place, 0.07 back. Ricardo Blanco finishes fourth, a nice run for Op Inc., as all their other cars kind of self-destructed. Carson Cronton didn't blow up this week, and he finished in fifth, as less than 1,500 separated the top 5. Keith Davis, with another good run in that 88, finishes in 6th for the Garth Enterprises team. Justin Pisani is in 7th. Nate Smith finishes in 8th. And as we move on to the point standings, as Lester keeps the lead by 31 points over Ricardo Blanco, despite being involved in that wreck and never really getting up to the front of the field. Nate Smith in 3rd, Keith Davis 4th, Justin Pisani rounds out the top 5, as Luis Telez, the Livonia winner, drops outside of the top 10. Falls to 6th, Mac DiCario 7th, Herb Cilantro in 8th, Kenny Gerald's having a decent run in 9th. And AAA Shootout winner Greg Sauer rounds out the top 10. Next race will be the Willow Point 300K at Willow Point, the 6th round of the 2014 AMP Energy Racing Series season. I've been Robert Carell, signing off.